Welcome to Power Up Memphis. I'm your host, Gail Jones-Carson, the Vice President of Community and External Affairs. The aim of Power Up Memphis is to take you, our customers, on an inside tour of MLGW to share our programs and operations. And by doing so, we can all better understand how we function as your utility provider. Joining us today is Renise Holiday, who is MLGW's Power Diversity Coordinator, and Gwendolyn Tucker, who is the President of NABO, which stands for National Association of Business Owners. Okay? So welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to appreciate you being here. And today we're going to talk about MLGW Supplier Diversity Program, leading the way to economic prosperity. Memphis Light, Gas, and Water is very well known in the business community for supporting diversity in business, supporting women, and supporting minorities. So, Renise, can you give us a little bit of information about MLGW's diversity program and your goals, and why it's even important to have a diversity program?
Yes, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water has had a diversity program. Matter of fact, we just celebrated a 20-year anniversary last year, and we're so proud of that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We support the diversity spending with minority women and local small businesses because it's an economic empowerment for our city. And we've had the program since 1994.
Okay.
And with that, we look to provide opportunities for minorities, women, and local small businesses to do business with us. And Memphis Light, Gas, and Water program is very successful because we have the support from the top down. Our Board of Commissioners sets our policy, and from there, it's integrated throughout the organization. And so I think that's one of the reasons why our program is so successful.
So, Gwendolyn, would you please, talk to us about the importance of not just Light, Gas, and Water, but companies all over Memphis and Shelby County, making sure that everyone, all races and gender, are brought to the table to share in the wealth in this community?
Absolutely. I want to first thank you for allowing me to be here, and also for Ms. Holiday and her team, and for MLGW for the investment that you are making in the community and in businesses in the community to grow. Our mission at NABO, the National Association of Women Business Owners, is to propel women entrepreneurs into economic, social, and political spheres of power worldwide. All of our volunteers on the board there, we all own our own business. And so we are very thankful that MLGW, Ms. Holiday, and the team there, they have actively reached out to members within NABO to say we are looking to do business with more minorities and women and locally owned small businesses, and they're reaching out to us and have cultivated a great partnership. And one of the things I believe that MLGW is leading the way, because they realize that spending the money and investing in companies in the local community will help the local community grow, the people in the community grow. Because we believe that as economics improve, so does social and political improve. And so for us, we believe that MLGW is a benchmark, actually, for other companies in the area to be able to do the same, because there are women, minorities, and locally owned small businesses who can do the work that these companies are looking for.
So, I mean, that's great, and I am very proud of the work that Light, Gas, and Water does in the area, and I also am very thankful, too, that we're able to help women and small businesses and local companies, as you mentioned. As some would say, as the tide needs to rise for everyone.
Absolutely.
So, Renise, could you tell our viewing audience how much is Light, Gas, and Water actually spending with women, minorities, and local businesses in Shelby County?
Yes, we have spent 31% of our division spend with the minorities, women, and the local small businesses.
Okay, so when you say 31%, that's 31% of the total spend that we spend business.
Yes.
Okay, great.
For Memphis Light, Gas, and Water.
Exactly.
Now, with our program, we do track spend by 3 categories: minority business owners, women business owners, and local small business owners.
Okay.
And with those percentages, we're able to tell where the need is that we may need to do a little bit more sourcing or go out to the communities and find more businesses in. So those are the 3 business classifications that we accept for our program.
But we are aggressively doing the searches that you just named.
Yes. This year, Gail, we have extended our outreach. Our focus is sourcing because we do good, but we want to do better. Okay. So what we're doing is we're reaching out to the local community to find those vendors who have not been connected with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. We have an online bid notification system. Okay. That's our website where vendors need to register. If you're not on the registration list, then you're not able to receive bids. So our focus has been since January is to try to reach out to the community, find those vendors who are not connected with us. So the biggest thing that I can say is any visitors that, any vendors that are listening, if you know anyone that is in the community and like to do business with MLGW, please go out and register on our website, and so that you can get connected with the procurement process.
So is that www.mlgw.com
yes.
Is there a slash?
/bids, B-I-D-S.
Yes. So that's www.mlgw.com /bids.
B-I-D-S, yes.
Okay, great.
Of course.
Okay. So, Gwendolyn, how have your members benefited, and have there been a great number of your members benefited? Could you talk to us about that partnership that you all have with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water? And I do want to say that the 31% that was mentioned that Memphis Light, Gas, and Water does in our community is a higher percentage than most businesses, whether it's private or government. Light, Gas, and Water has an excellent record. 31% is a lot. So, and we're proud of that. So.
Thank you.
And as Renise said, we continue to work toward increasing that.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. From our perspective at NABO, several of our members, and actually I am a vendor and have had the privilege of being able to work with MLGW, and so I'm very thankful for that. For the last several years I've been able to, and several of our members are actually very large contractors, have contracts with MLGW, and so one of the things that we have done with Renise and her team is that in October is National Women and Small Business Month, and actually coming up October the 19th, we're actually going to be hosted, Renise and her team are hosting us for that celebration to invite women in to celebrate, but also to understand how to do business with MLGW. There are some prerequisites to be able to do business, and just because you're certified does not mean that you can do business with the company. But they have taken great strides and pains and efforts to let us know this is what we're seeking. Do you have anyone in your membership who provides this? And the fact that that they are actively pursuing us, and we're growing because we are a member organization, but we're also asking our members, come to these events so you can find out what MLGW is looking for, so that you can see what the opportunities are and how do you prepare yourself to do business with an organization such as MLGW.
So Renise, just kind of going back to what she was just saying, what kind of training, education, communications do we provide for business owners in our communities to make sure that they can be eligible and prepared to bid on work at Memphis Light, Gas, and Water when those opportunities become available?
Yes, of course. We, with the training, one of the things that we have is called pre-bid meeting. And with that pre-bid meeting, what we do offer is for anybody can attend that meeting. Sometimes businesses get intimidated because we're the government and they have a thick packet to complete. So what I try to do is to reduce that intimidation by asking them to participate in a bid orientation, pre-bid orientation prior to a bid coming out that you're interested in. That takes some of the fear away, and it also takes the intimidation away because you understand what the documents are that have to be completed. You understand what requirements you have as far as insurance and bonding. Most of the bid packet is repetitious for all industries. There are specifics to your industry, but most of it is the same thing. So that's one of the things that they can do to help them to feel comfortable with completing bids when opportunity is available.
Okay, so I do want to mention this, that when government or municipalities step up to make sure that contracts are available to everyone.
Yes.
Everyone's at the table and have an opportunity to bid. There have been organizations who have had problems with women, minorities, local businesses having a sliver of the pie. So how do you deal with those kind of criticisms and objections to us making sure that the pie is available to everyone?
One thing that we do, Gail, is we have advocate organizations that are a part of our program. We have an internal and an external advisory council. Okay. With the external advisory council, it includes advocate organizations who have memberships for minority women and local small businesses. It's advocate organizations that reach out to and provide services or educational opportunities for MWBEs. We also have MWBEs themselves serving on the committee, as well as those industries that affect small businesses, such as insurance companies. We have a representative. Financial always is a concern or a challenge for small business. We have someone representing them. That committee meets once a quarter. And with that committee, that is where we talk about those maybe challenges or those obstacles for small businesses to have the opportunities. So that committee has helped us a lot.
So that helps cut down on some of the criticisms and objections to making sure the pie is available to everyone.
A couple things, too, that MLGW has done specifically. Last year at National Women in Small Business Month, there were team members from MLGW who showed folks who were there who were not in the system how to sign up and get in the system so that your information is there, because if you're not in the system, guess what? You can't get notifications. So how do you get notifications? But beyond getting notifications, who handles that area? Because people do business with people they know and they trust who can deliver. So now that you know what's coming up for bid, who handles that? How are you going to integrate that into your strategy to be able to develop a relationship so people know what you can do and how you can deliver? So those are some things that specifically that I have seen MLGW do to cultivate and ensure that they get that 31% spend.
Okay, so we do have to wrap up now, and I want to thank Gwendolyn Tucker, who is the president of NABO, and Renise Holliday, who is the MLGW Diversity Supplier Coordinator. And I want to thank you all for watching us this segment. And if you need additional information regarding MLGW's Supplier Diversity Program, you can go to www.mlgw.com/BIDS.
Yes.
Again, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Call 544-6549 or visit mlgw.com/+1.
Thank you for watching Memphis Like Gas and Water's Power Up Memphis. I'm Gail Jones-Carson, your host, the Vice President of Community and External Affairs. Today, we're going to be discussing our Memphis Like Gas and Water's partnership with MIFA, which turns 50 years old this year, and they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. My guest is Arnetta Macklin, and she is the Vice President of Advancement at MIFA. We've had 36 wonderful years working with MIFA on Plus One, and many of our customers have benefited by us having this partnership. So could you explain to our customers exactly what Plus One is and how beneficial it has been to our customers?
Absolutely. Well, Plus One is a program and partnership between MIFA and MLGW where we actually service and provide utility assistance and relief to families in crisis.
Okay, families in crisis. So it's not based on income, but emergency crisis kind of situations.
Exactly, such as a loss of a job, such as a medical emergency crisis. It is not based on income, because these types of situations could happen to anyone.
They can happen to anyone, and many times people want to look at a person's income and say that they ought to be all right. But say two people, a husband and a wife, they both make $50,000, and that's a $100,000 income, which is a lot for Memphis and Shelby County. However, if one of them loses their job, you have cut off 50% of that household's income.
Absolutely.
So that is a major financial impact on a family.
Absolutely.
And so it's very good that it's not based on income, because a lot of people have emergency situations and they need help.
Absolutely.
So how many customers per year does Plus One service?
Last year we served 2,900 families, and that's a lot of families, and the need is continuing to grow, particularly with our senior citizens.
Well, and that's one of the things. I mean, Memphis, I guess, the city of Memphis does provide $1 million a year to help customers pay their utility bills. So a good percentage of that does go to the Department of Human Service, which has a different audience than MIFA. And the money that goes, the remaining portion goes to MIFA, and you all are able to help senior citizens who are in need.
Absolutely.
Some of your customers, our customers, are not DHS customers. Some of them, they don't meet the qualifications, and some of them just, they're just not members of that, customers of that organization, but they have great needs.
Absolutely.
And so we're able to touch a whole nother segment of customers by making sure that in addition to the Plus One dollars, the City of Memphis money is divided between two organizations that have two different populations that they service. So could you tell us what the process is for customers who need help with Plus One?
Well, they can actually apply online at MIFA or come to our 910 Vance location and receive assistance Monday through Friday between the hours of 7:30 and 10:30. It's very important that they bring the documentation of what type of crisis it was. For example, if it was an employment issue, actually bring the termination papers. If it was a medical illness, bring documentation of the hospital bills and things of that nature, so we can have documentation of what the crisis actually was.
Okay, so when a customer comes to you and the person or family has a crisis, say the maximum amount that you all give does not meet their total utility bill, how do you all handle that?
We do have some other funding sources that we try to match, and that's why really the private fundraising as well as that contribution from all of our wonderful MLGW customers really makes a difference. Because if each utility MLGW family would contribute $1, we could actually serve close to 20,000 families.
Well, Light, Gas, and Water has, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water has more than 400,000 customers. Let's say we have 420,000 customers, and that includes businesses. And if each of those residential customers and businesses just gave $1, that would be $400,000 per month.
Absolutely.
That would help many, many families in need, in crisis, in our community. And these families are not asking for a handout. they're asking for a hand up. And we must remember that any of us, at any time, can have a crisis, whether someone loses a job or have health problems, or what are some of the other conditions or requirements that that you all consider crisis situations?
Well, oftentimes we are seeing an increased number, obviously, of domestic violence. So it could be that someone may be trying to get away from the abuser. So for the first time, there, possibility of living, by themselves and not having that extra income. So that's a concern, again, with the increased number of seniors and people aging in place, having a fixed income, even though the utility bill, is increasing due to housing and that insulation and that type of thing.
And so once a customer, what is the range that you all do give, and what is the maximum dollars that you all provide per incident?
$250 is about the average that we give.
It's the average. So that is, and we can, if there were more dollars available,
absolutely,
we possibly could increase that number, and we also could increase the number of people we help. If people give $1 per month, that's only $12 per year to help a family, a neighbor, in a crisis situation.
Absolutely, and it also helps to prevent families on the brink of homelessness. We found that not having that utility connection often sometimes spirals into homelessness. So this is actually a good investment for the community.
That was really one of the most interesting, working with Plus One. I mean, just learning that many times when people don't have utilities, that could be the first sign or first step toward families being homeless. And so we can all help our families in need in our community with a step up by just giving $1 or $5 a month. I'm not going to ask for too much, but I really would. I mean, $1 is good. If we could get if we could get $400,000 a month,
yes,
we
that'd be
could get
great.
$400,000 a month, and that's helping people in our community to pay their utility bill. And these are people in crisis. These are people who are not asking for a handout, but people in need. So how does it not having the utilities also impact children who go to schools?
Absolutely. They're not able to feel good about themselves if they don't have a healthy meal, if you don't have the utilities. And no family, no mother should have to choose between, putting food on the table and keeping their lights on. And we found that the program works. We've done some research in conjunction with MLGW that shows after 3 months, 89% of our clients are still connected. And
that's
after
amazing.
6 months, yes, 83% are still connected. So it's very important, as you said, that this is not just a handout, that this is just an opportunity to invest in someone and hopefully preventing them from becoming homeless.
Well, former Grizzly player Zach Randolph has been, I mean, just a godsend for this program, a godsend for the Memphis community. He has been making donations to the Plus One program for several years now. And one of the things that he tells us that touched my heart and many people's heart is that when he was growing up in Detroit, there were many nights his family didn't have utilities. So the Plus One program was something that was near and dear to his heart. He wanted to help mothers, small children, and seniors who go without utilities. So we love Zach Randolph. He doesn't live in Memphis anymore, but he still is given to Plus One.
Yes.
So, so tell us some other benefits to the Memphis and Shelby County community when we help families who are in crisis.
Again, that $1 investment, I mean, the return is tremendous. Obviously, to keep someone in a shelter type of situation, to actually go into more of a medical type of situation, the nutrition, because a family is able to heat up food for their children, just basic necessities, is such an investment in prevention. It's more of a proactive versus reactive measure in dealing with poverty in our community.
Okay, and like I said, I'm greatly appreciative for the 36-year partnership that Memphis Light, Gas, and Water's had with MIFA. But in addition to Plus One, you also have some other another utility utility assistance program?
Yes, we have several utility assistance programs that we help to merge those funds together with MLGW, because oftentimes due to the cap on the funding, we have to use variable resources to make sure that the family gets more than just utility assistance. Sometimes they need food from our food pantry.
Oh, great.
And so we actually help with rent, utility, and food assistance.
Wow.
Because sometimes it's a trickle-down effect.
That's amazing. And so, in most of the funding that you receive, they're either in the form of donations or grants or from government.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
we really need our community to step up a little bit more, just to give just $1.
Absolutely.
Just $1. If you're not giving, we can have $1 added to your utility bill to help families in a crisis.
Absolutely.
So is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers before we leave, Arnetta, because we're having to close? But what would you like to leave with our viewers?
I would like the viewers to know that 50 years of MIFA in the community is really due to collaborative partnerships like MLGW, and how the partnership really makes a difference in the community, and that we need you to help continue to help with families in crisis through the Utility Assistance Plus One program.
Okay, so if people want to donate, how can they do that?
They can go to MIFA's website, www.mifa.org, and I believe through their utility bill, there's an opportunity to give to Plus One as well. So either online through MIFA, or if you'd like to donate with your utility bill, both mechanisms will be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Arnetta. We appreciate the information that you share with us, and we, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, greatly appreciates the 36-year partnership that we've had. And to our viewers, please consider giving $1 per month on your utility bill to help families in a crisis. Families that are not asking for a handout, but families who are asking for a handout. Thank you for watching Power Up Memphis. And now, here's a power moment to help you better understand how MLGW works to help you, our customer. Our myth today is Plus One only helps MLGW customers who fall below the poverty guidelines. That's not true. Plus One recipients come from all walks of life. But due to a recent crisis, such as a loss of a job or a long-term or debilitating illness, the customer may be experiencing a financial hardship, which causes them not to be able to afford to pay their utility bill. Since its inception in 1982, Plus One has provided more than $10 million to families in crisis in Memphis and Shelby County. We would greatly appreciate it if you would consider giving just $1 per month to help a family in a crisis. You will be helping them with a hand up and not a hand out. Consider helping your neighbor. Thank you for watching Power Up Memphis. I'm Gail Jones Carson.